Hi, so I'm now going to show you how to install the TAL Gate Pro storage system. So a couple of safety features just to point out. On all of the TAL Gate family, we do request that a fifth leg is installed, so that's in line with the front two legs but centre point of the cabinet. Just helps distribute the weight over the entire base, and as all tower units need to be fixed to a wall. Stage one of the installation is to install the top runner. Doing that, you go to drawing A because that has all the positions for all the screws. So the TAL Gate's N works on the centre position of the cabinet when the TAL Gate is offset by another 35mm. So we need to put another mark, 35mm. So we'll now go and mark on the positions for the screws for the top runner. So now I'm going to just pre-mark all those positions I've gone and make it easy for putting the screws in. So these are the 6 screws we're going to use to install the top runner. So we'll now start by installing the runner by screwing through into the pre-marked positions I did earlier. So we always start with the installation of the top runner first, is because as you're putting the screws in, there's always bits of debris that falls to the bottom of the cabinet. It means that doesn't drop into any of the runners. So now onto section 2, and that's installing the base runner. We start off by finding the center points of the cabinet. For the TAL Gate N, we'll work from that center point, but for the TAL Gate, we will offset by 35mm. So now use the owl to mark all the markers, ready for the screws. These are the 6 screws we're going to use to install the base runner. And this is the last base screw going in. Smooth. So we're now on to section 3, and that's the pre-assembly of the frame and then the installation of it into the cabinet. So these are the screws we're going to use to fit the brackets onto the frame. We use the shorter screws for the top bracket, then the longer screws for the bottom bracket. So as we get ready to start installing the brackets, just make sure you got the frame the correct way round by having these facing upwards. So line up the top brackets with the hole positions and then pushing these screws. And then we'll tighten them up with the Allen key. So we now install the bottom brackets onto the bottom part of the frame, and that's just lining it up with the bottom holes, then dropping the screws through and tightening them up. That's the frame completed and ready for the installation. To install the frame, we start by installing it on the bottom runner. So to install the frame to the top runner, slack it off the 2 locking screws. We advise to always push the system to the back of the cabinet, because it means you keep the frame in the upright position, and you can then push the frame up to the locking position on the top runner. So when you push the frame up, you'll see a little silver peg come through this hole here marked with my thumb, and it'll click. So now I need to tighten up the 2 locking screws. The next section is going to be preparing the frame to be installed onto the door. So we've got the 4 screws which will be used to fix the swing arms. Then we've got these 2 grey clips which go onto the other side of the frame for the slide arms. So then we put the grey clips into the end of the frame. Then we install the 2 slide arms, slide it into position, and then we use the screws to lock it into place. We're now on to section 5, and that's where we're going to install the pre-assembled frame, attaching it to the cabinet and the door, and you get those measurements from drawing C. So we now get the measurements and put the positions for the brackets that go onto the cabinet. Now we're going to use the owl to just pre-mark those measurements. We're now going to use these 8 screws to fix these 2 brackets to the inside of the cabinets. So now fix the brackets to the positions. These are the screws and fixings we'll use to install the frame into the cabinet and attach it to the door. Now we'll fix the frame into the cabinet, placing it into the clips, then pushing down on these pegs, and once it's in place, you hear a snap. We now put the sliders into the end of the rack, line it up with the positions we've already pre-marked on the door, and then fix it with the 2 screws. And that's it done. As above, we insert the slider into the end of the rack, line the positions up with the pre-marks that we've done on the door, and then attach it. We're now on to section 6, and that's where we'll install the soft close mechanism. For the first part of the soft close installation, you have to put the small clip on the underside of the runner. There's a little peg, and it clips into place. This is the second part of the soft close. You've got 2 location pegs at each end, which will go into the runner, as I'll show in a second. So we now can fit the soft close into the bottom runner. You line up those positions on those pegs, get it lined up, snap it to the side, and that locks in place. The last stage of fitting the soft close, you just need to activate it, and that's by pulling the lever forward. So it's this lever here, pull it forward. We're now on to section 7, and that's where we install the arms that connect the frame to the door. For this, you need to use drawing D. These are the 6 screws we're going to use to install the 2 arms. So we're now going to mark the positions for the top arm. A quick tip is the bottom arm is the one that has this small bend in it, and the top arm is the one that has a straight line. We can now fit the arm to the markers we've already made on the door. We'll now fit the bottom arm to the bottom of the door. With the frame being an all-handed frame, please make sure you put the clips into the correct side, and for this unit, it's the side that has the hinges. Insert the top clip into the top of the frame, and then pop the arm into that and lock it in place. Now we're putting the Essentio baskets into the TAL Gate Pro. Amazing.